Looking after your gut health is one of the most important things you can do for your health. Gut health doesn't just affect our digestion, but also our immune system, our brain health, our metabolism, our mood, our mental health, our hormones, energy levels, even our skin health, heart health, and lung health. So it's not just about digestion. In this video, you'll learn about my 10 science-backed foods to heal your gut. No supplements or expensive superfoods required, just simple foods you can get from your local supermarket. So when I was unwell with Crohn's disease and IBS back in 2017, I tried just about every gut healing superfood and supplement you can imagine, with little success. So from bone broth and colostrum powder to fermented foods and organ meats, I tried it all. So that's why after this health journey that I had, I decided to become a certified health coach. And now I sort of specialise in helping other people with gut health issues. I have a bit of nutrition qualifications, a science background, and I have as I said, particular passion for gut health. So I guess I don't want you to make the same mistakes that I did. So here are my top 10 foods to add to your diet if you have gut inflammation, which can be caused by multiple different things, but particularly Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis. Active inflammation can mean ulceration and ulcerated patches in our large bowel and even our small bowel with Crohn's disease. So eating becomes quite painful. So we want to be bringing in foods that are full of fibre for our beneficial gut microbes, but that are also gentle on our digestion, so not too aggravating. So my first food is obviously bananas. These are full of potassium, as we know, but they've also got a particular fibre in them called pectin. And this is a type of soluble fibre, so it kind of dissolves in water and makes a gel-like consistency, and that can be really good for not only constipation, but also bulking up the stool as well. So we can kind of have both when we have gut inflammation. We could be rushing to the toilet, or we could be not going often enough. So bananas, as I said, have this wonderful pectin in them. They're also good for reflux as well. They sort of have a natural antacid in them, so a good food to eat if you're experiencing reflux symptoms as well. So pectin, as I said, feeds our beneficial gut microbes, and then they produce more of these health-promoting compounds called short-chain fatty acids. Butyrate is one of them, which you may have heard of before, and that's a really good one to, feed the cells lining our gut, keep them nice and healthy, keep the tight junctions nice and healthy, so that we avoid any leakiness or things going through the gut wall that shouldn't be going in and then triggering an immune response and inflammation. So bananas are one of the best things you can go for. When you do have active inflammation, probably best to go with spotty bananas, so make sure they're nice and ripe. They're going to be much easier to digest. But when you are feeling well, again, having the odd green banana here or there can be beneficial, because green bananas actually have a different type of fibre in them called resistant starch, and that's something that our gut microbes can also eat. So, not every day, but occasionally the odd green banana can be good. One thing to be careful of, though, if you have IBS, ripe bananas can be higher in FODMAPs, and it might be best to go for less ripe ones if you do have IBS. I had both Crohn's disease and IBS at the same time. I didn't worry about FODMAPs when I was healing my gut. Everything just kind of took care of itself when I added in more plant foods. So it wasn't something I worried about. But if that's, an issue for you, then, go for the greener bananas to start with. So I guess my favourite way to eat bananas is in a smoothie. You know, when they get too ripe, you can freeze them. They freeze really well, and then you can make up a nice icy creamy smoothie with those and other fruit and some soy milk or coconut water or something if you prefer, and that makes a nice nourishing meal. So my second food for healing your gut is melons. So melons are very high in water content, so like 90+% water, but they also do have nice fibre in there for our gut microbes. So I find melons really refreshing. I like to start my day with some nice hydrating melon. A mixture of watermelon and cantaloupe works well for me. I particularly like watermelon because it has lycopene in it, which is a plant compound that can protect against bowel cancer, and obviously people with inflammatory bowel disease have a high risk of bowel cancer, so that's definitely at the back of my mind to make sure I get plenty of lycopene for that. Once again, if you have IBS, watermelon can be one of those trigger foods, so maybe start with cantaloupe or honeydew instead. Small amounts of those can be fine, and work your way up towards the watermelon. Yeah, as an idea, just chop up some fresh melon in the morning and enjoy that before your breakfast. And if you want extra colon, anti-colon cancer benefits, then squeeze some lime or lemon juice over the top as well, because citrus is also protective. Food number 3 is papaya. So yeah, super soothing. It's actually got digestive enzymes in it, and fibre, of course, both soluble and insoluble fibre. It's great for easing constipation and bloating and indigestion as well. It's got lots of vitamin C and antioxidants in it, beta-carotene, and these can all be nice anti-inflammatory compounds to reduce inflammation in your gut. Probably my favourite way to enjoy it is just in a fruit salad or on its own with a squeeze of lemon or lime juice is really nice. Food number 4 is apples. Like bananas, apples also have a lot of pectin in them, and they are often seen in therapeutic diets for inflammatory bowel disease. It's a key food in the Crohn's disease exclusion diet, for example. If you do have active inflammation, I would recommend taking the peel off the apple, because that can be a bit aggravating. So when you're feeling well again, bring the peel back in, but otherwise I would remove that. Also, if you're struggling with apples, maybe cooking them and pureeing them can be a nice way to make them a bit more digestible. Once again, people with IBS, apples can be another trigger food for symptoms, so just start low and go slow with those. But as I said, I had IBS. They were not a problem for me, but everyone's different. Yeah, I suppose one of my favourite ways to enjoy apples and bananas together is to mix them up in a food processor to make a kind of porridge with a bit of cinnamon and some dates. And if you're interested in trying that, there's a recipe on my website. Food number 5, mangoes. So mangoes have actually been studied for their gut health properties, and they're found to be very favourable. Regular mango consumption can boost our numbers of beneficial gut microbes, so that's obviously what we want. We want more of the good guys. Once again, it's got soluble and insoluble fibre, which can help to normalise bowel movements. And it's also quite high in anti-inflammatory polyphenols. These can improve the gut barrier function, so prevent that leakiness. And it's also got some enzymes in there which can enhance digestion and ease constipation as well. So I think fresh mangoes are amazing when they come in season, but a lot of the year round I can't get them, so I just buy frozen chopped mango from the supermarket, and I add that to smoothies. That's probably my favourite way to enjoy mango. Goes really well in a green smoothie. Food number 6 is kiwi fruit. Kiwis, once again, excellent source of fibre. They are known to be a constipation reliever, so having a couple of kiwi fruit a day consistently can really benefit people that have constipation. You can leave the skin on. I prefer to take it off, not because I'm worried about the aggravation, but I just don't like that furry peel in my mouth. But yeah, if you do have active inflammation, I would suggest removing the peel and swapping green mangoes green kiwi fruit for yellow kiwi fruit. These are a bit lower in acid and less aggravating to an inflamed digestive tract. Food number 7, we've got fresh dates. So these would have to be my ultimate choice as a gut health food. They taste like caramel. They're incredibly versatile. You can blend them up and into smoothies. You can make date bark out of them. You can put them into desserts and cookies and things instead of sugar. So yeah, they're one of my favourites. They're also high in soluble and insoluble fibre, so food for our microbes. They've also got some potassium and antioxidants in them, which can help to fight inflammation. So yeah, surprisingly, they're also low on the glycemic index, so they're not going to spike your blood sugar as you might think. Obviously, I think the fibre slows that down. Yeah, as I said, my favourite way to enjoy them is probably chopped up in a smoothie to sweeten it, or so that's what I would do, if I had gut inflammation. Once that inflammation is gone, I like to enjoy them as a dessert, date bark, which is pretty much just dates squashed in a pan, spread with nut butter, and then sprinkle or drizzle some 70% dark chocolate over the top, and that makes a really delicious dessert or snack. Finally, so that's all for the fruits. You'll notice that 7 out of 10 of these foods are fruit, and that's because they are just so super soothing and so full of this wonderful fibre for our gut microbes that if you were going to start anywhere with gut inflammation, it wouldn't be with bone broth, it would be with fruit. So yeah, as I said, fruit is the way to go. The next food, though, is not a fruit, it's potatoes and sweet potatoes. So when you have active inflammation, you're using up a lot of energy. Potatoes and sweet potatoes are really nice and starchy and filling and provide a lot of calories if you're not able to eat a lot of other foods. So yeah, super nutritious, full of fibre for our gut microbes and other nutrients as well. They're nice and gentle also on an irritated, inflamed gut. So one thing to think of if you want to boost their gut health properties even further is to cook them and then cool them down and then eat them. You can reheat them, but the cooking and cooling process actually boosts the content of resistant starch. And resistant starch is something that, once again, our gut microbes, our beneficial ones, really love to eat. So yeah, great to boost that up. Doing this can really be helpful. That's why potatoes, I think, are a mandatory food on the Crohn's disease exclusion diet. Once again, another therapeutic dietary approach for inflammatory bowel disease. So yeah, I guess my favourite way to enjoy them when I was not feeling well was to cook them in a soup or mash them into a nice potato mash with a splash of soy milk and some salt. Also, you could make potato cakes. So don't just go for the orange sweet potatoes. You can go for white, you can go for purple. And also with white potatoes, you can try, starchy ones, you can try waxy ones, you can try the fluffy ones. There's such a variety in potatoes, so you kind of don't get sick of them when you're eating a lot. Food number 9 is rolled oats. Now this one, rolled oats actually contain a type of fibre called beta-glucan, and once again, our gut microbes really enjoy eating beta-glucan. It's a type of soluble fibre, and yeah, eating beta-glucan can help boost the diversity of gut microbes, healthy gut microbes in our gut. So that's something that we really want, because greater diversity means greater resilience and better health. So yeah, they're perfectly fine for people with gut inflammation, although if you find that they're aggravating, you may want to swap to quick oats and make sure that you cook them as well. So cooking into a porridge will be appropriate. If that's too rough, then yeah, go for the quick oats, and you can even blend it if you need to, or you could add a scoop of cooked porridge into a smoothie, and that will blend it up as well. But trying to get in some oats every day can be really helpful. They're nice and filling and satisfying as well. And so that brings me to the last food, which is chia seeds. Chia seeds, once again, lots of fibre, insoluble and soluble fibre, supporting our beneficial gut microbes, helping to ease constipation. They are a great source of calcium as well, which that's important for me for bone health. They've also got selenium and zinc in them, which often people with inflammatory bowel disease tend to be low in. So yeah, I think they're a great food to add in. The polyphenols in them and the omega-3 fatty acids can be really good for lowering inflammation in the gut as well. So probably my favourite way to enjoy them is or to make a chia pudding, or otherwise I'll blend them into a smoothie. So you'll find a basic recipe for chia pudding on my website, so go and check that out if you're interested. So yeah, I hope you found this useful. I think one other thing I would say is if you're coming from a lower fibre diet into bringing all these wonderful foods in to help heal your gut inflammation, then I would say make sure you're drinking enough water as well. A good couple of litres every day is really going to help move things along without, causing diarrhea, but bringing in more fibre and then not bringing in more water as well can cause constipation and bloating and gas and things, which is, we want to be minimising gut symptoms, not making things worse. So yeah, that's just one thing to note. So yeah, I hope you have found this useful. Some of the key foods, that you can bring in if you are dealing with active Crohn's and colitis symptoms or any other gut inflammation.